The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. The first phase of the 200 megawatt Chisamba solar project is set to be commissioned this month. ARB approved 62 Light 8 construction permits totaling 11 billion kwacha. UK and India agree landmark trade deal. This bulletin is also live on our Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. The Zambia Electricity Supply Corporation Limited, ZESCO, has announced that the first phase of the 200 megawatt Chisamba solar project is said to be commissioned this month. In 2020, ZESCO partnered with Power China International Group Limited to develop the Chisamba solar project in Central Province. Construction commenced on July 10, 2024, with an anticipated completion timeline of 10 months. ZESCO Managing Director Justin Longo has confirmed during a media tour that the first 100 megawatt phase is nearly complete and will be commissioned this month. Mr. Longo has projected that the second phase of the Chisamba solar project will commence in July 2025. The Chisamba solar project aligns with the government's commitment to scaling up solar energy to address the electricity deficit and enhance energy security.
Then was 200 megawatts. But from 2020, the project couldn't take off because ZESCO had no capacity. I'm sure you're all aware about ZESCO's called stress balance sheet. So there was no way ZESCO was going to finance a project of about $200 million. So in 2023, as presented, ZESCO decided to split the project. The project was split to the extent it was agreed that we do the first phase should be 100 megawatts, and at the same time it was agreed that this project be given to.
At the same event, site manager Chiza Nyirenda has mentioned that the project is 98% complete. Mr. Nyirenda has highlighted that the $101 million project will benefit between 30,000 and 50,000 households, providing a substantial boost to the national grid.
And the equipment has been also installed. I'm sure that will also be seen during the guide. The current project status is as casted. I would highlight to say we are at overall progress on the plant at 98% with all those constituents as designated by the percentage completions. Benefits of this project, it aligns with the sustainable development goals. I can highlight 7, 12, 13, and 17, dealing with that. Further benefits are realized from the energy security, which is the 8th National Development Plan, pillar number 4.5, diversification from hydropower, which is quite key in this era where we expect global climate change, adverse weather, droughts, and whatnot. So it actually offsets such a component of a dependence on hydropower.
The Energy Regulation Board (DRB) has approved 62 license applications and 8 construction permits in the petroleum, electricity, and renewable energy subsector. ERB Public Relations Manager Namukolo Kasumpa says the approvals represent a total investment pledge of 11 billion kwacha. She says the development reflects the ERB's ongoing commitment to promoting a transparent and supportive regulatory environment that encourages sustainable investments in line with national energy policies. During its meeting held on April 2025, the licensing committee of the board reviewed and approved specified applications which demonstrated continued investor confidence in Zambia's energy sector. She says the steady growth in investments highlights the country's favorable regulatory framework and the ERB efforts to streamline approval processes for investors to participate in the value chain.
Road transportation of petroleum products distribution, import, and export of petroleum products, importation, blending, packaging, distribution and export of lubricants, and distribution and supply of electricity. These licenses play a critical role in ensuring energy availability, enhancing operational efficiency, and promoting access to modern energy services and equipment across the country. The ERB is dedicated to effective regulation of the energy sector with a strong focus on addressing stakeholder needs and promoting a sustainable, reliable, and inclusive energy mix.
A live-in maid in Lusaka has allegedly been stabbed to death by another live-in maid identified only as female Mary following a dispute of yet to be established nature. Preliminary investigations indicate that the deceased, who had worked for the Ngoma family for over 4 years, had recently begun sharing a bedroom with the suspect Mary, who joined the household on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. The incident was reported by Mr. Xavier Kakoma, aged 34, of Jigrins Chalala, who filed the report on behalf of his friend, Mr. Innocent Ngoma, of plot number 10622 Lilai. Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga stated that it is alleged tensions may have arisen after the deceased confronted Mary over suspected bedwetting, though this remains unconfirmed.
And began sharing a bedroom with the suspect Mary, who joined the household on Saturday, 3rd May 2025. It is alleged that the tensions may have risen after the deceased confronted Mary over suspected bedwetting, though this is unconfirmed. On the day of the incident, Mr. and Mrs. Ngoma had left for work, leaving the two maids and four children at home. A 12-year-old child reportedly noticed blood seeping from the bedroom and inquired for Mary, who allegedly claimed it was from slaughtering a chicken. However, upon entering the bedroom, the child found the deceased lying on the floor. Police officers who responded to the scene found the deceased lying on her back, covered in a blanket.
The Ministry of Tourism and Arts has observed and acknowledged that gambling addiction is a growing challenge in Zambia. Ministry Principal Regulatory Officer Annette Hatembo says the vice affects people's mental health, financial stability, and social cohesion. Ms. Hatembo was speaking at the signing of a partnership between gambling company Bet Lion and Gamed Zambia. She said she rather added that families and communities are also affected beyond the individuals directly involved.
We are actually pleased and happy to be here, and we are also thankful for the invitation. Thank you so much. So, may I also indicate that we are pleased to see stakeholders also taking the proactive steps in promoting responsive gaming and safeguarding the well being of the clients. So, gambling addiction is growing, and even as a ministry, we can testify to that. And not just individuals are affected, but we are seeing families being affected, communities being affected. So it basically affects the mental health of people, the financial stability, social cohesion also. This partnership reflects the kind of collaboration that we need to see as a ministry.
Speaking at the same event, Pet Lion country manager Panji Kakube says the partnership will ensure training of frontline staff in the organization to recognize and appropriately respond to signs of addiction in clients.
Your presence sends a powerful message that the government is not only paying attention, but is willing to stand with us in taking these positive steps to address gambling related harm in our community. Today is a defining moment for us at BetLion. This isn't just about contract signing. It's a commitment to acknowledge the reality that while betting and gaming are forms of entertainment for many, for some, it does become a struggle. We see that today and we are choosing to act. In partnering with Gamate Zambia, BetLion is taking a bold step towards responsible gaming.
And Gamet Zambia director Mukuka Nalubamba says the partnership will address gambling related harm in communities and hope that the partnership will set an example for the betting industry.
Right now, in a time when addiction is silently destroying lives, especially among the youth, BetLion has chosen responsibility, compassion, and leadership. And by partnering with GamAid, They are acknowledging that the reality that some clients do struggle and that helping them is not just ethical, but it's very necessary. And our partnership allows us to equip your frontline staff with the knowledge and tools to identify addiction, respond with empathy, and refer clients to the support that they need.
And in other news trending this evening, OCP Africa, a subsidiary of OCP Nutri-Crops and the Ministry of Agriculture of Zambia, have signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, to collaborate on a large-scale initiative aimed at accelerating the transformation of the agricultural sector in Zambia. Civil Society for Poverty Reduction CSPR Executive Director Isabel Mukelebai has underscored the urgent need for the development and implementation of targeted empowerment programs specifically designed for women who are survivors of gender-based violence (GBV). Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development has advanced plans to set up the first rice processing plant in Western Province. This is in line with government's priority of leaving no one behind in the developmental agenda. Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Elias Mubanga announced the development when he toured 4,000 hectares of rice farms in Sikongo and Kalabo districts, which have been empowered by the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC. The ministry, through the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, has also handed over harvesters and other agri-equipment to the farmers within the district. Over 1,463 farmers have been supported under the 2024-2025 CEEC Rice Empowerment Program. CEC Director General Dr. Charles Mungule said he was impressed with the progress made and expressed hope for a bumper harvest. The project presents an opportunity for small-scale farmers in Western Province to scale up their productivity and meet the rice demand for Zambia and Southern Africa. Government remains committed to empowering and promoting mechanized farming and delivering critical training for productivity. Ends the business news, and in foreign news, after 3 years of on-off negotiations, the UK and India have agreed a trade deal which will make it easier for UK firms to export whiskey, cars, and other products to India and cut taxes on India's clothing and footwear exports. The deal does not include any change in immigration policy, including towards Indian students studying in the UK, the British government said. Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds said the benefits for UK businesses and consumers were massive. And in sports news, striker Fashion Sakala has expressed feelings of unfaithfulness by Football Association of Zambia FAS President Andrew Kamanga, accusing him of being behind his exclusion from the national team while ignoring more pressing problems affecting the club. Sakala has been absent from national team duties since January 21 of last year, following his public criticism of coach Avram Grant, whom he accused of favoring players represented by Israeli agent Neil Karim. Earlier today, Kamanga suggested that Sakala could still return to the team, though noted that his teammates want him to reconcile with them first, following comments he made in a leaked audio recording.
Maybe you can talk to me. Sometimes maybe, I don't know, maybe I did something to them, but they were not confident enough to talk to me. I don't know. But it has been too much for me, to be honest, because a lot of talks. And I really want to clarify something to you people, my fans who are following me all over the world, that you know me. Since I started playing football, there is no indiscipline issues about me. I think this is something that you can even check for yourself. I've never had issues about discipline.
And now the weather report. The evening is windy at times, mild to cool with few clouds. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. The Zambia Electricity Supply Corporation ZESCO Limited has announced that the first phase of the 200 megawatt Chisamba solar project is set to be commissioned this month. The Energy Regulation Board DRB has approved 62 license applications and 8 construction permits in the petroleum, electricity, and renewable energy subsector. And finally, after 3 years of on-off negotiations, the UK and India have agreed a trade deal which will make it easier for UK firms to export whiskey, cars, and other products to India and cut taxes on India's clothing and footwear exports. For more news, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of the evening.